Welcome to Washington East to West Sports. This is episode 156. I am Matt Beatty, joined alongside, as usual, by Sean Beatty and Kevin Ardall. If you don't want to get involved in the show, go ahead and blue sky at us. I'm at Master B. Sean's at NastyBlade22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler. It's been a while. And on X, Kevin is C to believe, SEA to believe. Sean is also NastyBlade22. Subscribe to us, like our videos, tell us what you think of the topics we talk about in the comments below. Guys, it's been a month. A little more than that, actually, since we've last been on this podcast. So, luckily, there's been some news to gather that we can talk about. So, let's start with the Seattle Seahawks. They uh, have some rookies reporting, but camp's not quite happening yet, but it's getting close there. So, let's talk a little bit though about the purchase of the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, while we were last on this podcast, the Seahawks have officially been purchased. Now, it's not technically approved by the league yet, but barring any sort of objection to a league vote of approving the sale, the Seahawks have been bought by Vinod Kosla. I don't know how to say his name exactly. I hope that's pretty close. But he is the now majority owner of the team, and he was an early investor in Google, and his venture fund, Khosla Ventures, made one of the largest early bets on OpenAI, and he also has notable investments in DoorDash and Instacart. Sean, what do you think of this purchase?
I know. Well, I mean, he's got money, and I guess maybe not a committee, but it sounds like his wife is actually going to run it along with. Does he have multiple kids? I think
It
his
says
old
in the story, Niru Khosla will serve as the controlling owner, and their son Neil is expected to
yeah
have a significant leadership role in the ownership group.
wife and son are basically going to be running the organization, actually, not um um and she has like two masters from like Stanford and something like that. So she's a smart cookie as well, I think. She has a master's, I think, from Stanford. I thought I saw that, but yeah, she's this is not I don't want to get political, but not a nomination from just like a spouse. She's quite intelligent in her own on her own. So I think it's more the family bought it, and she's running it. So um, I don't. Uh, it's hard to know what an owner is going to do till they do the thing. So I don't know much about them. So I guess good until otherwise. I don't. I don't know. I honestly don't have to rock the boat too much right now. The only issue is going to be once you got to make a big decision at the higher level. You know what I mean? Like Mike and John are in place. Don't screw it up too much, I guess. Give them what they need financially if they need some advice, because that's what owners do. A lot of owners try to meddle. Like not everyone's Jerry Jones, but like these people are not this way off for being dumb usually. So it's if a Mike or John want a hiring decision or something like that, personality being an interview, I'm sure they'll ask advice of this person. That happens quite often because you've hired a lot of people, you've talked to a lot of people, you've had a lot of meetings with people, reading people. But at the end of the day, it's John and Mike's decision, and don't rock the boat too much with them. They've been trusted to do this job. They just won the Super Bowl, so kind of a win-win for them. I think I'm shocked more people didn't line up to do this because again, like what time has ever been a Super Bowl defending Super Bowl champ been up for sale in a city like Seattle where like there's just money everywhere, all these giant companies everywhere? I'm like, yeah, this seems like a very smart investment, uh, pretty clearly. So don't rock the boat too much right now. You're good to go.
And in this ESPN story, it says Niru was a molecular biologist and scientist, and now focuses her philanthropy and fortune on
Yeah,
education.
yeah,
Oh, in '07, she co-founded and now is executive director of the CK12 Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to advancing STEM education and reducing the cost of education for students around the world, including by providing free textbooks. Kevin, what did you think of this purchase?
I mean, I'm glad it got done. So, I mean, essentially it's going to get done. But yeah, I didn't know who the heck they were. Honestly, I like anybody who like honestly, I think anybody who says they knew who they were to like an extent is just full of it probably.
there's probably
Um,
some people, but no one here.
yeah,
Probably, yeah. I mean, they have a
yeah,
wiki. They have a wiki page. I mean, there's
right.
some
Like
circles
a
where you
handful
probably know
of
who they are, but
people
yeah,
might have known who they were, but like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So honestly, it's way too early to tell. To be honest, like. But it's
Oh, they have
kind of
four. They have
Sean
four
said.
kids. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sean said. Essentially, just sign checks. Like you have good, you have a good GM, you have a good coach. Like just sign checks. Like
And
try, try.
be in the situations you need to be involved in, but don't overstep your bounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be a positive owner. Like just be kind to everybody. Like be welcoming. Um, I mean, of course, you want to be. I don't want them to. I can't when I say just sign checks. That's probably incorrect. I do want them to be involved because I want them to know and grow to know the sport. Like I don't want them to be ignorant of the sport, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Or
well,
like,
to be fair, before they say that, they were already owners of the 49ers, part owners.
right. Yeah.
So they're not
They're
new
not
to football.
completely, yeah.
Yeah. They
So
know football. Yeah.
I'd like them to just until they get a better understanding of the whole situation, just kind of let Pete and John or Conti. Sorry. Woo, bad. Yeah, that's bad. Let John and Mike kind of just run things. Just be there as support, and just put your good foot forward, and eventually down the line, you know, be a little bit more hands on. But like right now, there's no need for it, essentially.
Yeah, there's a fine line owners need to play. You can't be like away because then like an absentee owner, those franchises tend to be like collapse. But you don't want to be a Jerry Jones. The
Right.
opposite. And be involved when it's appropriate. Not like I said, like interviews, things like that. If they need another setup, because again, it's a good another set of eyes and ears to have in a room somewhere. But other than that, like you don't need to be messing with John and Mike when it comes to the day to days of running the Seahawks.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were. I'm really not pro billionaire at all, so is I'm I would love public investment in the team, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. But looking at their portfolio and what they've done, it's fine. I'm not a huge AI guy. I get it's a big thing right now, so getting it on the ground floor certainly is going to make you quite a lot of money. Um, I think you guys are right because it's they've got a good foundation. They just won the Super Bowl, so I it's going to be interesting to see how involved they want to be. Um, yeah, it's kind of a thing where you've already got the pieces in place. You just came off a Super Bowl title. I don't really see any reason for a new owner to come in and make sweeping changes or do anything like that. It doesn't seem like that's going to be their style either. Um, but it's going to be interesting to see what their level of involvement is, because I mean, Jody, since what was it? When did Paul Allen pass away? It was
Well,
like,
will we ever see the level of? We don't often see the level of investment or involvement from owners
yeah,
on our,
exactly. Well, I mean,
so we'll never
like,
know.
yeah, well, like you said though, it's there's Jerry Jones who's much more open and much more vocal about it. I don't think there's gonna be anywhere close to that, but
Well, he
uh,
was literally the GM for a while, so like
yeah,
obviously he's gonna be involved. But like yeah, but like other than that, we don't really we have some stories about how some owners are involved versus not. But like yeah, yeah, we
yeah.
don't
So
really.
it's a thing of I on one hand I do kind of agree with Kevin. I don't necessarily say just sign checks necessarily, but it's also a mainly kind of I guess what Sean is saying. You don't need to rock the boat here. Like the boat is very secure. It is, it's just coming off a Super Bowl title. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they are asked about certain things. Like let's say for hypothetical that this season starts going poorly, do they start asking the owner questions about what they want to do or what they're going to do? And kind of instead of going to John and asking these questions or Mike and ask these questions, do they go to the owner and say, "Hey, are you thinking about making a change in management at this time because of what's going on in the season?" That I think will be interesting, and to hear what they have to say if they are asked these questions and they do comment on it. So
Well, like I feel like if they were going to answer those questions in public, we would know who these owners are. You know what I mean? Like they would have enough of a platform where they're like, okay, we're going to ask these people, like the Mets owner. Of course, I'm drawing a blank now. He had a platform before he became the Mets owner. Now everyone they ask him these questions, but like, how many times are new owners brought in and then this doesn't happen because you don't know who the owners are? I feel like if this owner was going to answer questions like that, we would know who they are. This seems like a you don't hear from them really again. Kind of like a Jody thing. You don't really hear from Jody once this was happened. I think we're not going to hear from them. They're not going to be asking the owner questions.
I think you're probably right, but I think they will probably, once it's official, have some sort of press conference to introduce
Yeah,
the
they'll
people,
have
and we'll
that,
get a
but
better
like
idea of what they plan on doing because I'm sure there's especially as an owner, there's a business side to this that they are definitely going to implement their own, I guess for lack of a better word, agenda in order to make this franchise profitable because ultimately they are the owners and
well,
money is
they're
what they're here for. So,
yes, but like they are profitable. Like they're really profitable. So like you don't need to
well,
do a
well,
lot.
well, yes,
They were only
but
sold because they had to sell.
but as we know, it's never enough. So they will try to make more money where they can. So that's why it's going to be curious to see what they do because uh, you know, ticket price is already high,
To
concessions are high. I think the
to
prices
make
are already pretty crazy for a Seahawks game in
I
general.
know to
So
make more money would be to win another Super Bowl. Like that would be the way to make more money. Like because again, like they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna come in and up the food by like $10.
no,
Like
no, I don't think that either. But
I don't think in most situations I would say yes, probably like things would happen a noticeable difference. But like this is such a unique experience where like you're literally the best. You made a ton of money, you won the Super Bowl, you're in the best spot. It's such a unique experience that like they might come in and we won't see any changes for a couple of years. I mean, there'll be changes in the background, but like what we see, there might not be a ton because what is there to change? You can't get more popular, sell more jerseys, do more things than win the freaking Super Bowl. I mean, other than be a different team entirely. I don't, you know what I mean? Like the only way to make those type of jumps is to be the Patriots of the last decade and win a bunch of Super Bowls because then you become crazy profitable. So the only way to really take that next step into being like crazy echelon cowboy level profitable is win a bunch more Super Bowls. So I get that they want to maximize the dollars, but the dollars are pretty maximized, I think, for the most part. Maybe like I just it's gonna be behind the scenes things are gonna change a little bit. But again, like we just were saying, like you don't gotta do much because winning Super Bowls, getting two extra playoff games, getting all the revenue from the Super Bowl, that's a ton of money. Like you don't have to do a ton right now.
and I do understand that, Sean. The only issue or the only worry I have is you could look at the Mariners. Isn't the owner more about profit than winning, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, yes, but baseball is a little different because of the whole no salary cap revenue. You get money no matter what. That's a baseball specific issue because revenue sharing with baseball works a little differently. Like, there's no one like cutting in football. Like, what's the team that's like notoriously for like being super crazy cheap? The Bengals, and they just signed two players for like $70 billion or $70 million. Like, it's like there's cheap in football terms, but you're still within like really close to the cap because everybody basically gets close to the cap. There's some teams that are like we're 10 million shy of the cap, but in baseball, the like Otani's $70 million deal is worth more than two teams' entire salaries. That doesn't happen in football. Like it's a different thing in baseball.
Yeah,
Where like
yeah.
you could cut all of your players in football and still make the same money. Billionaires would do it. It just doesn't work that way in football.
Yeah. I get it, and that's just the only worry I have is someone trying to come in and make profits over anything else. That's my only concern.
And I get that. And I think the way to make profits is in football is to win. Like the Chiefs are crazy profitable right now because Mahomes sells a tons of jerseys. Kelsey sells a tons of jerseys. So what I'm saying is you need to get an eligible bachelor, AJ Barner, to marry Dua Lipa or somebody like I don't know who's eligible or whatever.
Not
Like
single anymore, but
okay, I don't know. Clearly I'm up on it, but like you need to
yeah.
get one of our tight ends to marry someone hot and young, and then get Sam Darnold to be the new Mahomes, and then now we'll sell tons of jerseys. Oh, and win a bunch of Super Bowls. Like that's the last part though. But just like yeah, that needs to happen, and then you need to win a bunch of Super Bowls. But
All
yeah,
right. So AJ, if you're listening, AJ Barner, if you're listening, just
what's a new celebrity? Well, I don't want her to get involved. I don't get involved with Ariana Grande because we don't know if it's gonna stick or not. You know what I mean?
that's true. I think Sabrina
I don't
Carpenter's
know any
single.
like
Like
the
we could try that
singers.
maybe. Like get the
Who?
whole singer thing. Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh yeah, I don't know. She's from Spokane, right? So there you go.
No, that's Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, sorry, they're the same person. Really, I'm so sorry.
Actually, that's not a bad option. So
Yeah,
AJ, if you're
they're the same
listening,
person.
yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. A story we haven't talked about yet that happened right before Sean and I went to the UK was Russell Wilson confirms he's retiring from the NFL and joining CBS. This was June 3rd. He confirmed that he is joining CBS Sports and will be an analyst on the CBS Sunday pregame show. He posted on his socials a thank you football love 3 with a video. Um, Kevin, what do you think of this news?
Yeah, it's not shocking because he is getting older and his ability to scramble, which was kind of his bread and butter, has just gone away as you get older. If he was on a team that had a good O line, yeah, I could see him as a backup because he still has cannon. It's just with that, as he's been getting older and he's not able to scramble near as much, his decision making on the fly has not been as good. Excuse me. Um, hmm. but I mean, with that being said, his career was, at least in Seattle, was really, really good. Um, I mean, there are parts outside of Seattle that had flashes of good, but mainly just what he had in Seattle was just nothing short of phenomenal. And honestly, around the time when he announced it, I was looking back at some Russell Wilson like just highlight footage, and I was like, gosh, I missed Russell sometimes. I was just like that deep ball threat, and then just some of the plays he did also made me realize how much I missed Doug Baldwin a lot too. Even Tyler, of course, but yeah, just some of the throws over the years. It kind of made me. I was like, oh, I was here when I was watching that, you know. So yeah, kind of surreal, especially since Russell's younger than me and Sean. Uh, see a guy like that retire, but
I mean,
no,
he's younger than me by like 2 months. So we're like, yeah, but yeah, I mean, technically, yes, yeah.
No,
but
he's a full year younger.
no,
He's 88.
yeah, he's a fourth there.
Oh
He's
yeah, yeah.
younger than
Oh, he's 88. Oh, okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Matt,
So
you're old. He's older than Matt, or he's younger than
Yeah.
Matt. Oh no,
No,
80,
he's older than
89,
me.
he's
89.
he's older
Yeah,
than Matt, younger than
yes, yeah,
you and
Yeah.
you're
I.
right. You're right.
So
I just pulled up his date of birth. Yeah.
yeah, it's honestly a surreal moment because I know he wanted to. It's sad too because I know when he was younger, he said he wanted to kind of be like Tom Brady and like play into his 40s. And honestly, I think in the right circumstances, he could have. Um, because honestly, I still think he's a solid quarterback. He was just put into poopy situations, and like I said, as you get older too, because he's more of a scramble threat with him not being as fast. If he doesn't have like if he has a pocket, he's golden. Like that dude's just got a cannon. Um, the only thing that I do remember because I was just like, well, I can't forget there were times where he had a pocket too where he would just missile it instead of just putting the right touch on it. That was the only thing that kind of lacked from Russell's game a lot of the time was just like it was just mainly I was like sometimes Russell I'm like you just got to put a little bit of soft touch on a 10-yard slant versus just missile. Um, but overall, I'll miss him. I know a lot of people didn't like the whole Robot Russell thing, and honestly, that kind of faded too, especially after he left the Seahawks, and well, more when he married Ciara. But um, but what he did for the city too, like everything he did for Seattle Children's Hospital, honestly, I hope he can kind of continue that in his, because I think Seattle Children's Hospitals would love to have him around and would take him back in a heartbeat. Uh, and honestly, because there are people that like there's Seahawks fans that don't like him now and things. Oh, it's just like, dude, he got to a Super Bowl. He's honestly the best quarterback you've ever had. So I don't know why. I was like, and plus it wasn't his decision to leave really anywho. It was Pete's, to move on and trade him to Denver. Um, but overall, I'm glad he got the CBS gig. He's going to provide a crap ton of knowledge for him. It'll be cool to see him on there. He's got a good personality, especially now that he's a little bit less robot Russell. I think he'll have a good mixture of like analytic robot Russell versus like chilled laid back Russell. So it'll be interesting to see, and it's also cool to have a Seahawk on a morning other than Michael Robinson and the Blur. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was I agree with you, Kevin. It wasn't shocking, but I kind of well, first of all, I don't think I this is a retirement. The door is not. I don't think the door is fully closed. So like, I think there could be an opportunity that would lure him away from CBS Sports desk, and he would take it.
What's the
It would.
opportunity?
Let's see. Drake May goes down, and they're 10-3, and they don't want to go to their backup, so they sign Russ to a veteran minimum. They just signed Philip Rivers for Indianapolis, so I think that there is a possible. I'm not saying it's super likely necessarily, but there is there could be an opportunity for him if an injury happens. I think that's the only thing that would bring him back into the NFL would be an injury and a team gives him a call and he takes that opportunity. Um, but assuming that doesn't happen, I watched this clip and it was pretty emotional because he had so many good years here, won a Super Bowl, got to another, was a big part of that team with the Legion of Boom and that defense. And like Kevin, there were some highlights that you saw, and you just go back to all the plays that you remember seeing him make, and I remember I watched the clip that remember when we were in Uncle Sam's saloon of the NFC Championship game against Green Bay Packers, and they came back and he had that bomb touchdown at Jermaine Kearse to win the game and send him to the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, I'll never forget that moment. Probably because we were all with each other, and that was just an amazing play at the same time. So. Um, Greatest quarterback in Seahawks history. He'll be in the Ring of Honor someday. I think he'll probably be a Hall of Famer as well. It's just it's you don't know what you got till it's gone kind of thing. And the breakup sucked. Like let's be real. Like that was a crap way for him to move on, and I get it on both sides. Um, And the one thing you can say about Russ is, you may not have liked how everything went in the football world, but as Kevin said, as a person, like Russ is a great dude. You can't argue with that. Like his visits to Seattle Children's, um, he's a good dad. So there's no arguing about the character of the person. Um, and if you want to be mad about the football side of things, then that's fine. But ultimately, looking back on it, I like greatest quarterback in Seahawks history. Like I don't understand how you can be still upset with the guy after all these years who took his talents elsewhere. It didn't work out. But I don't blame a guy for taking another opportunity and it just didn't work. So what would be right now if Russ never left? I don't know. And we'll never know. But uh it's it was a good time to be a Seahawks fan when Russ was quarterback. Sean, what'd you think?
I mean, yeah, it was sad. Obviously, undoubtedly the best quarterback in Seahawks history. Um, I think people are coming around, Kevin, to your point of like it's over now, the whole leaving thing. I mean, it's been 5 years. Um, it's over. There's gonna be people who always hold a grudge, but I mean, at this point, who cares? A lot of fans online have like given, it's like it's over now. They're neither of them are in football anymore. Pete and Russ are not in football. Um, and the people, Bobby Wagner's the only one playing that's even from that team. From the prime team anyway. So like it's like the whole thing is just over. Like what I mean? Like it's just all. There's no point even like it's now remembering. It's not even an active thing anymore. So like it's just yeah, it's sad. I was when I got the TV set up in my office, I was like, oh, I need something, just some background something or whatever to put on while I, just work and you just have some background noise or whatever. So I was like, I found a YouTube channel that just has all the 2013 Seahawks highlights, just all their games, the full games. And I will say this, watching just the first game, the Panther game, there were so many throws that, to Kevin's point, watching highlights doesn't do Russell Wilson justice. I'm watching the game, and I'm there's so many throws and plays he makes that'll never be on a highlight reel where I'm like, oh my gosh. And at one point I stood up. I was like, he made that throw, and it's never going to be on a highlight. It was just some random throw to Doug Baldwin on the sideline where Doug also, to Kevin's point, makes a crazy catch. But you'll never see it on a highlight because it's just like the second quarter of the Panthers game, week 1. And it's just some scramble, some out route. He makes the guy miss and then throws a laser to the sideline. And Doug's diving at tiptoes on the sideline. I'm like, that's never going to be a highlight reel because it's not a crazy long touchdown or whatever, but it's like 8-yard pass that Russell made some crazy move and then Doug Baldwin made some crazy catch. And he did that like 9 times in the first game. And I'm just like, man, it goes to show you. That's why, Matt, I hope you're right. Watching that season and watching prime Russell Wilson, unless you were there watching it, and especially ask any 49er fan how pissed off they were the entire decade playing Russell Wilson. And if they don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Like, that franchise hates Russell Wilson. And every time you get a comment on like a TikTok or something of Russell Wilson highlights, they're like, I'm a 49er fan, but that man's a Hall of Famer. Because they could not, it was just, you thought you had him and you never did. It was always a play. And that's what made the leaving Seattle, because he lost the ability to get away from those plays. And to Kevin's point, like, once he lost that, the idea of like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning playing till they're older, they're a rock. They're not moving. Their game isn't predicated on movement. Their game doesn't change when they get older. Yeah, taking hits, things like that. Phillip Rivers doesn't change when they get older. Russell Wilson's game has to change, and unfortunately, that's a huge part of your game. Once that goes, that's kind of it. Like, Russell doesn't have the height. He doesn't have that ability to like do these other things to make up for the lack of mobility, and that's how he knows how to play football. And that's what got him in trouble. And that, and hitching your wagon to Nathaniel Hackett, who's doing great in the NFL, I hear. Hasn't been ran out of 2 teams. So like, it's just watching prime Russell Wilson. I don't know if he's going to get the Hall of Fame. I think he should, because he was as the kids say, he was a problem. He was a real problem. And what you needed was, people always fixate on the LOB, and rightfully so. They were very good, but like, I thought about the Super Bowl the other day. I'm going to go on a tangent for a little bit. I thought about the Super Bowl the other day, and it comes back to actually the last time the previous time the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl against the Sean Alexander team. What the defense is, that defense in the 2005 team was not that good talent wise. They weren't that good. They weren't really that schemed up really well. What helped them so much was actually the offense, because the other teams knew the Seahawks were going to run behind Walter Jones and Steve Hutchinson. They were going to score. That was going to take a long time, and they were going to score, but they were going to score. Sean Alexander scored like 30 touchdowns. They were going to score touchdowns. And the offense on their side knows, I have to score or the snowball is going to go. And I think that's what people forget about those prime years with the LOB, was the offense was very, very good. They were the number 1 DOVA team in football for 4 years straight. Like, the offense was never worse than 6th in the entire league. Russell's prime. Like, they were a great offense. They just, everyone remembers Sherman, the LOB. That offense was great. So I think a lot of teams with the Denver, as soon as that ball snapped and they're behind, Seahawks did not score on a drive that entire Super Bowl, other than Neal's and when the game's over and everything like that. So like, Denver knows, like, we're behind the sticks already and they have the ball, and now we have to play catch up into the LOB. And so like, Russell and that offense gets a lot of credit for, like, yeah, they didn't have the personalities and things like that, but they were just as scary as the LOB. Maybe not quite, but like, they were quietly very, very, very good. And that they just get overshadowed on the other side, because that offense was very, very efficient. And so I think Russell, when people look at that, once they look at the advanced stats, hopefully Russ garners more votes. And I don't want to hear MVP stuff, because back when Russell was in his prime, you only got 1 vote. You didn't vote for the top 5 or whatever it was. You only got 1. So Russell deserves his flowers. He was quite good. He did have the misfortune of playing with like the 4 of the GOATs, but like at the same time, but like, he was very good for a long time there.
Yeah, I mean, you just think of all the throws, the plays, like the spin moves against the Cardinals, and he's getting out of it and throwing to Doug down the sideline, or that toe tap catch to Tyler Lockett in the corner of the end. Like, there's so many you could just mention, and like the battle with Mahomes. Like, there's just so many fun games with
Yeah, going
Russ.
toe to toe with everybody. Like,
Yeah.
they took it to him. Like, yeah, they would have had to do the play that everyone forgets, the touchdown to Curse in the NFC, the championship game, to give him the lead. Like, throws a bomb like into double coverage. Yeah, it's a free play, but still, he makes the throw and makes the catch. Like, it's
And
It's
what
great.
a time to go back to when he was drafted, and it was the question was him or Matt Flynn. What a
Mhm.
time. What a time. All right. Well, let's move on a little bit, and then we'll move on to the Mariners in the second half. But Hard Knocks, they got a trailer today. It premieres August 4th. How excited are you guys? Training camp starts July 25th. Rookies have already reported. Uh, Kevin, what's your hype level for football season right now? You still in the midst of baseball? You ready for some football? How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm definitely ready for some football. Uh, Excited to see what this team can do. Um, Honestly, like I've been talking with a couple of coworkers and a couple of people, some places that I hang out with. A lot of different question marks if you did move off some things. Like I said, I'm pretty hyped on Price. I know some others aren't nearly as much, but like I'm very interested to see his style of run behind this line.
That's the part I'm worried about behind the line. But
Well, I mean everything on the line except for the right guard is solid.
you could use a center. You could definitely use a center.
I mean the center could be better, but I mean it's not like he's not tackling a running back
It,
like
it's
our right
true. It's true. I would say he's a little below average, but yeah, he's not like actively hurting you. But when
yeah.
two of your five are below average, it is kind of scary a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, no. So,
I like him. I'm worried about the line in front of him.
yeah, but that's why I like him is because what he has that K9 doesn't is his contact balance is so much better.
Yeah, but let's just fix the O line, then it's a win-win.
I know, but like other people that had good contact balance that we've had before are Sean Lynch, Chris Carson, like, and they didn't really have great O lines either. Minus, looking back,
No, the
Mark.
Seahawks never really have had a. The last great O line was the team I referenced, like the '05 Hawks. Like they have not been very good the entirety.
Well, I mean,
But that's a rare offensive line as well. Like
But
that's
that's what I'm
just
saying. Like they've never had even an average offensive line. I would say.
you
I
had
don't agree. I don't
pieces
agree with that, but
When was
because
the last average offensive line?
the Super Bowl first one was okay because you had an All Pro center
The
and you had
2013.
you had Max Unger who was good. He was All Pro, or at least,
Yes,
and then you also had Okung who was good
he was
at left
good,
tackle.
and I would say
Uh,
that's it.
Sweezy was okay at
No, he
run
was
block.
pretty bad, and then Breno Giacomini was not great.
No, Breno sucked, but
So I would
I
say like you had two good players. That's not an average offensive line. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
he
they've
was
had an
good
average
at run
offensive line.
blocking. He was terrible at pass blocking,
Yeah.
but anywho, that's kind of like essentially what you kind of had to a little bit. But yeah, we've never really had that's kind of what we were going earlier about the DOVA and things.
Which
Like,
is why I was hoping like they've got like you could argue two, three if the right tackle could stay healthy and improve, then you argue you have three really good guys now, and you're
right.
just you're so close to making a good O line. You know what I mean? Like because if your center was your worst, like now
Mhm.
we're cooking with some gas here. Like you draft a guard, you get him up there in the second round or something like that. You're like, oh okay, here we go. But I mean, you can't fix everything. I get it. I get it.
Uh, I mean, I'm excited to see what not ex well. I'm more intrigued to see what if Shahid can do what he does in the return game and the receiving game. Uh, because that was kind of lacking. That or eventually you have your young Shahid when he comes back in Torrey Horton.
He was
Um,
not placed on pub just recently. Did you see that?
yeah,
He is healthy.
yeah.
So
Because as a rookie,
you
he
knock
he
on
was
wood over
very
there.
impressive.
You knock on wood.
He
I'm just
was
saying
very
he was
he
not
was
placed on
very
pub.
impressive as a rookie in both the return game, and he was more impressive as a receiver than Shahid was, in my
Well,
opinion.
I wouldn't say really impressive. He had like 15 passes, but like
I mean,
I want to see more.
he had what 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
he
think
had
Something like that,
I
yeah.
think more than
yeah.
that, but like
for a rookie.
two were like wide open, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but still,
I want to see what he does. Like what can
his
he do?
over the shoulder catch in the end zone when he was on coverage was actually really
Yeah, but
good.
I'm just saying, like 15 catches.
I know it's a small sample
incomplete
size.
game.
I'm
I don't
not
know
saying
what it
he's
means. Yeah, yet.
I'm not saying he's Jesus. Let's calm down. I'm just saying for an undrafted, well, sorry, not undrafted. He was what, fifth, sixth round?
I thought he was third.
Um,
No, he was later than that.
Let me let's see.
He was day three, I think.
Was
Yeah,
he?
I don't know where he
yeah,
fell in
he
day
was like
three.
a fifth or sixth.
Yeah,
I
We'll
want
look
to say
this
he's
up.
fifth,
Keep going.
but it was he was slated to go higher, but he injured his knee in his junior year.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
is what
yeah. I think he had some injury or something. Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah,
um but it was I liked what I saw from the very little sample size. Now coming
I
off the
did too.
injury,
I just want to
coming off
put
the-
any stock in him yet. I'm just like
yeah, I know.
what he
No, I'm
does
just
is a
saying
surprise. Yeah,
I'm intrigued and excited to
yeah,
see. And like I
yeah,
said, you
Fifth
have
round pick.
yeah.
he's essentially like if he pans out more, it's like you essentially can eventually once Shahid's options available, you can just let Shahid go
Well,
and
you've got Cup, obviously JSN. You got AJ Barner and Arroyo, so and those are all like, and they're going to use Arroyo healthy, and so you have Shahid and Horton to sprinkle in as well. So you don't even need Horton to be like some massive piece of this.
right.
You just need him to basically just be healthy and then force his way onto the field. Which, again, to your point, is what I like. I don't need him to. If I was coming in and he's like, he's your two, I'm like, oh crap. But he's your 5 or 4. You know what I mean? Like wide receiver. So I'm okay with that for sure. I don't want to bank on anything yet from him. But
I
I'm like,
think the
yeah,
most intriguing part that I'm gonna just and then I'll pass off, at least for me, is what is this offense going to look like with a new OC? Who's a tight ends coach from the 49ers. Like, is it going to be more tight end heavy? Like, which I wouldn't mind seeing. I love me some AJ Barner, and I would love to see a little bit more of what Arroyo's got. I mean, that's what we kind of drafted him to be a pass catching receiver, but then we kind of found out that AJ Barner guy's pretty dang good at both blocking and catching. But I mean, if we have a dual threat, I'm of both of them catching, I'd be okay with that. And even if we find out that Arroyo can, pass block, that would be great too. Have two passing and catching or blocking and catching tight ends. That just makes us even more dynamic. So I think it's going to be a little bit more, kind of. I don't think he's going to try to go too far away from what our old OC did. I mean, he'll sprinkle in a little bit of himself too. And of course, Mike McDonald kind of will have the final say of like, this is what I want in an offense. And I think, they've already talked about it. And that's why they hired him.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, sure, yeah,
I think honestly, the talk in the room when they hired him was like, hey, I want to repeat kind of what we did last year, but you get to sprinkle in some of your guru stuff, that you want to add in as well, but not stray too far away from what we did last year. Essentially, like a good mix of the run and throw, you know, maybe, yeah. But if and like I said, if he does sprinkle in his little whatever it is, I think it's going to be a little bit more tight end base. Um, just off the cusp that he's essentially a tight ends coach, but who knows? And like I said, if him being there makes Barner and Arroyo better, that's a big plus because we already know that Barner's good. So, but yeah, I think that's kind of because we already know the defense is going to be. I mean, yeah, we did lose some pieces, but it's Mike McDonald's still there. We already know that Mike McDonald can turn like solid into like shining gold. So I'm not too worried about that, to be honest.
Welcome back to Washington East to West Sports. Thank you so much to our sponsors, our advertisers. We could retire right now if we wanted to because we make so much money off this podcast. But if you would like to be a sponsor and advertiser, please email us, WashingtonEastWestSports@gmail.com. Also, you can find us on Blue Sky. I'm a Master B. Sean's NastyBilly22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on X. Sean is NastyBilly22. Kevin is C to believe, SEA to believe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Tell us what you think of the topics we talk about in the comments below. Like this video, smash that like button. Kevin was talking about what he was wanting to see, and just so I can disagree, no, I can't disagree. Actually, I want to see Brian Fleury's offense. I really want to see Brian Brian Fleury's offense and see what that looks like compared. It's just, the offense worked so well last year, and it just put Sam and Jackson and most players in great positions to succeed. And I'm just curious how it all comes together. So that's going to be probably my most watched thing. And then is the defense as dominant as it was last year? I think that's just the simple thing I'm looking at defenses. They lost a couple pieces, but for the most part, it's mostly returning. So I wonder if they could just run it back. We'll see what happens. Sean?
I want just to see like an offense, and I'm sure it's the same way. They just need to tweak it because I like Price, but the offense isn't fixed. So maybe run a little bit less. They were just a bad rushing team last year. So like run a little bit less, pass a little bit more until you can kind of fix the offense next year. Until you could kind of like bring in a couple of line pieces, really get this offense moving. Just because they got behind the sticks so much that Sam Darnold really bailed them out a couple times. That like maybe just lean on the run a little less, and then just especially early, you're gonna have a rookie running back. Don't make him the focal point. Kind of do that. Lean on Sam and JSN and all these guys that are they are. Ease the rookie guy into it and just and make it more 62-38 kind of early in the season to like help them out a little bit. Then as the season kind of gets going, lean on it a little bit more. But they just were not great at it last year, so lean into your strengths just a little bit more. You don't have to go like crazy pass, but just get behind the sticks a little bit less early. They just were not great at running the ball last year. So
All right.
just tweak it just a little bit.
Well, let's move on to baseball. Seattle Mariners currently 51-50. They are down 3-0 as we record this on Tuesday, July 21st, to the Cincinnati Reds at home. Sean, we were gone for 2 weeks. You missed the Mariners for 2 weeks. What have you thought of the Mariners since our last podcast?
Um, Not great, Bob. Uh, I don't know. I feel like they've kind of let their opportunity slip through their fingers. They really this division's still garbage, and they just have not pounced like we've been asking them to pounce for a long time. Just don't suck, and you win the division. And they were like, bet. And so I was like, you don't have to. But they were like that. So just beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Um, it's been frustrating watching them hover around 500 the entirety of it. Did the Mariners just get a three? It's 3-1 now. Weston Wilson solo shot. There you go. But yeah, they just been of like they went through an awful stretch with playing Miami and Tampa to end the season to end the first half. The bats when we left for out of town, the bats were the seventh or eighth best team in runs created plus, weighted runs created plus, and the pitching was like three. And then when we came back, they were like 21st in runs created. They were awful hitting when we left. It was just everybody fell off the face of the earth basically. So their bats just need to pick it up a little bit. The pitching has still been has been good, definitely good enough. They're still top three in the league, not a problem. Obviously, it could be a little better, but like they've been top three, you can't argue with that. The bats have to put more runners across the plate, and we got all the talent in the world, man. Like, just play to the name on the back of the jersey. You can do it. Cal Raleigh, you could just not be worse than Mitch Garver, please. So that's all. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, I'll take it here and then I'll kind of pose a question to Kevin. So it's fine. Like I mean, I know it's not great, and it probably not even good. Um, but it's not bad. I see some chatter on the internet, and my question to Mariners fans, and I'll pose it to you guys, is obviously we expect this team to be better. They're not. They're not right now. So my question is, what do you want to do about it? Like what should, in your opinion, what should this team do about where they are right now? Do
The
they do
players who make
anything?
money need to play better. They need to play like they can, and that's it.
Uh,
This team's good enough. Yeah. What?
that's great. Okay, well
Yeah.
then don't do anything. That's the solution. Don't do anything.
Yeah.
See what happens. Like, I don't understand fans who get caught up and they're not all that. They're all like it. They're in a position where they can make the playoffs still. That's all I really want. So I'm good. Like I get Mariners fans' frustration about them not living up to the expectations that they thought they'd be, but for me, I want them to make the playoffs, and then once you get in, then win a World Series. That's all I care about.
Well, Matt, it's
I,
you make it, but you're making it harder. If they played to the back of their jersey, it would be easier to win the World Series. But you're
I
like, it's fine, just make it a
I
harder
get that,
road.
but they haven't. But they haven't.
But that's the issue people
So
are having. Like, if you could play at home all your series, yeah, that'd be a lot easier and missing around than
uh,
otherwise. But they're
okay,
not
so
doing it.
I'll throw it to Kevin because I'm posing this question. What do you do? What do you do? Do you do anything? Are you still buying at the trade deadline? Are you doing something different there? Are you going to fire Dan? Are you going to fire somebody? What would make you happy other than just playing better? Because that's of course what we all want. Is there anything to do, or are you just shouting to the ether of the internet because you can? Like that's the thing with me is it's a means to an end. Winning the division is great, but getting in the playoffs is all that really matters to me. Like I get that we could be a better team, and we frankly should be a better team based on last year, but we're still in a position to make the playoffs. We're not out of it. And
No.
if you get in, if this team gets in, is there any doubt that this team could go all the way?
Um,
Is there? Because I don't
yeah,
have that.
yeah, there is.
Okay.
They
All
just
right.
can't hit like right now, like at all. Like,
Okay. But I've
yeah.
heard this like every year since we've been on this podcast. So it's a thing of do it when it counts the most. So
Well, no,
that's kind
they
of
were in the lead all year last year. This is completely different than last year. They've never had this expectation.
uh, I'm gonna leave that alone. Kevin, what do you think?
They've never been expected to be the second best team in the American League. I got news for you.
I'm gonna leave that alone. Kevin, what do you think?
I'm going to touch it a little bit. And I'm going to say, yeah. When you're on paper, essentially you're supposed to be the second best team in the league. And honestly, it's beyond paper. You are the
Yeah,
second best team in the league.
yeah.
And you're playing to like the eighth best team in the league. Well, sorry, not in the league, but in your conference.
I mean,
Uh,
league, American league, but yeah, we get what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. Like that would be literally like us coming off the Super Bowl, Matt, and then we go like 5-11 with everybody with everybody good. I mean, we have some injuries, but like Darnold's there and stuff like on that line, but we just play like ass this whole Seahawks season. Like
Yeah, that
coming
would be
off the Super
upsetting.
Bowl, like it would be unacceptable. It's not upset. There's a difference between upsetting and unacceptable because we were expecting because we know what the talent is on the Seahawks team that like we should essentially be playoff bound. Minus a Sam Darnold out for the season injury because quarterback is most important. Without Sam Darnold, this team's done.
So Kevin, let me reflect that back to you. That happens for the Seahawks theoretically. What do you do after the season? What do you do?
If Sam Darnold gets hurt, then you just move forward.
Okay, let's
But
say Sam Darnold's
okay,
not hurt. What do you do?
you look at what caused it and you make changes. Like if it was the defense
Okay,
that
so take
went
that
through.
and look at the Mariners right now. What do you change? What do you do differently?
So what you do right now is you essentially have to look at either I think you do it after the season, but I think you tell Dan Wilson to look at the flowers. Um, he has managed his team poorly, and he's managed his pitching poorly at times to where it's kind of cost us some games. We need somebody with the aspect of knowing, and I've said this early in the podcast, that all games matter. All, meaning you need to go positive in your win ratios every month. Meaning in April, meaning if you go on a 2 week dang near losing streak in the first, the whole like, oh, we got the rest of the season mentality needs to never ever happen. Every game is important, and now we're seeing why. Because now we have to pretty much go well beyond 500 to secure a spot versus like, as I was saying this back in April, like essentially if we were like 20 games above 500 right now, okay, that's crazy. I don't even
10. It's called 10.
10. Okay, yeah. If we let's say we're in the position of what the Dodgers are right now.
Well, we're not the Dodgers. Let's just say we're not
I
the
know,
Dodgers.
yeah, I
But let's
know.
just say we're the Rays. We're 10 games
Yeah,
above 5.
exactly. Look at where the Rays are right now. Like, do you think the Rays are like needing to win every game? No, and they do. They know that, but their goal is to
Kevin,
still
all
win
games matter though. So
series.
why would you not want to win every game?
Well, I'm saying because everybody plays baseball. Your goal is to win the series and also to sweep the teams that you know you should beat, like the Marlins, and not get swept by the fucking Marlins, who are
So
dog shit.
The
so you
Marlins
want
are
to
too
fire
much fun.
Dan, is what you're saying. You want to fire Dan.
Dan eventually has to probably go.
So why not do
I,
it now?
because who do you who takes it that makes this
That's
team?
a great question too. Like that's the same question you could ask at the end of the season. Who takes it?
Well, there's more open candidacy at the end of a season versus mid-season.
Okay, well, I'll say this: manager really doesn't
Yeah.
matter. The only issue, Dan's real job is to manage the clubhouse. Is there an issue in the clubhouse? I don't know that question. The answer to that is there a problem in the clubhouse? So
I
I'm
don't know.
generally
I
asking.
don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Yeah.
That is for Jerry and them to know. The issue is the people that you're paying the money to who are good. Like it's really hard because you can't really make a giant move because on paper you're good enough. It's Cal, Julio, and Josh Naylor. They just have to be better. Like I'm not like bringing in a center fielder to play for Julio because like obviously Julio's good enough. It's just that Cal is killing this team. Josh Naylor's killing this team. Like that's just what it is. Because if you told me coming into it, like Cole Young was good, Cole Emerson was really good for a 20-year-old, and Canzone and Rayleigh were doing as well as they are. I'm like, this is fantastic. And then I look, I'm like, why are the three guys making money just not good at baseball right now? Like that's the biggest issue. Is like Cal Raleigh has a 500 OPS right now. That's just not good enough.
Yeah. Now, to counter your thing a little bit too, it is Dan's a little bit. Like, for example, when you have Bryce Miller going Dan like pitching really well for 5.2 innings, and then you want to
That
piggyback and put
Dan
in.
Wilson is not making that call on his own. I got news for you. That is coming from upstairs. Like that, Dan is not pulling him right there. That is
So then maybe your issue
organization.
is the change upstairs then, and not Dan.
That is how every team is run, though. So like you're just
Okay,
going to
so
have to
then
find somebody
maybe the
else.
change is upstairs then.
That the change is not upstairs. Actually, the pitching has been totally fine. Like
The
that is not
pitching
the
is
issue.
not the problem. We're talking about the hitting though.
Luis
Yeah. So the
Castillo has
piggyback,
not
all that
been.
decision did not matter. Like the issue is Cal Raleigh cannot hit, and so
Oh
like
yeah, I
how do you
know.
fix that?
So it's
But
one guy.
we
Well,
also need
it's
to address that Luis
Cal Raleigh,
Castillo
Josh Naylor,
is
Julio
not
Green.
good. Right.
What's up?
We also need to address the issue that Luis Castillo is not good right
Luis Castillo has had like an ERA of 3.5 since the piggyback start. It's actually been pretty good. So
now.
like
He gave up 4 runs when he came in for Miller like 2 weeks ago and blew it.
again, since August, his ERA is like 3.5. Like it, or not since August, since like they did the piggyback stuff 2 months ago. His ERA has been much better. I'm not saying he's like great, but like he gave a quality start today. He went 7 innings of 3 earned baseball. That's totally fine. Like we just had one run is the problem, and Cal Raleigh's up with two people on. Like that's the problem right now. We've had runners on all game. Like you got to score a run. We're having Weston Wilson hit our only run in like right now. That's the problem.
Now, I'm not saying, and I was going to continue to say that the major problem with this team is the batting. It's been atrocious. Okay, essentially what we were saying, Cal Raleigh and like the people that you expect to be stars are
You
being
brought in
literally
Rob
lost.
Ruffsnyder to mash lefties, and he's been the worst slugger in Mariners history with a minimum of like 50 at bats. Like that's just the reality of it. Like, my goodness. Yeah.
So that's essentially why I'm saying to circle back to the whole aspect of like what versus like disappointed versus unacceptable. We know the quality of caliber on this team, especially with the pitching. And like I said, the pitching is top 3 right now, and you're below 500. You have a top 3 pitching.
We're above 500.
You're about 500.
But sorry, barely.
For now.
Barely.
For now.
One game.
Barely.
If they lose today, they'll be 500.
Yeah, like I said, barely. Like
Yeah.
we should be well above 500. You have a top 3 pitching in the league, and we're scraping by at 500 barely, and we're not. And we're in a dog crap division.
Sorry, guys, I lied. They're technically fourth, but yeah, in pitching. Sorry, technically right now.
No.
Sorry.
And you have a dog crap division, and you're struggling against that. That's unacceptable. Period. Like, it is what it is. Like, to where now when you say what do you do? Pitching is fine. You if you really needed to, you could comb to try to find another batting piece essentially to figure out what you want to do there to try to add to this. But honestly, you need to put like a loaded gun to Cal Raleig's testicles and just be like, you
But
need to
like
figure
that's
this shit
and I agree, Kevin. Like
Whoa.
maybe a backup outfielder, but like let's just run through this hypothetically. A playoff game starts right now. Your left fielder is Randy Rosarina, All Star. Healthy Julio's in center, perennial All Star, right? Your right fielder is Luke Raley, who has an 800 OPS. Like like Luke Raley has been great, right? We'd all say, right, for what we expected.
out.
Luke Raley. Your DH is Dominic Canzone, who's your leadoff guy, has an 850 OPS. Been fantastic. Then you have what? When healthy, Brandon Donovan's your third baseman.
Yeah.
He's been really good. And then Cole
Right.
Young has been amazing at second base. And then Cal Raleigh's in there. You have awesome. Like when healthy, when he could do those. There's not really a spot you need a guy. You just need your guys to play better. And like I said, right on cue, Josh Naylor, bases loaded, out. Like I'm just like you just need the hit. And he was 3 for 3 coming into that. Like you just need not Will Weston to hit your solo home runs for you.
So
Like
let's talk about
Wait, let's talk what?
let's talk about Mr. Naylor super quickly
Yeah.
because we've seen Naylor's history. Do we think that we might have overbit the gun a little bit on Naylor coming off a hot season?
Josh Naylor had 815 OPS. His career is like 790. Like it's not like he was better last year, but
But
he's had a better.
he gets cold streaks often, and he did in Cleveland.
But like this isn't a cold streak, Kevin. We're at 100 games now. Like this is just like he's struggling this year, and so it's just like, man, if he just wasn't if he was just playing to his baseball card, we'd be a lot better. I don't pay him to be last year. Just be your baseball card, which was worse than last year, and we'd be fine.
Mhm.
He's just 100 points worse than his baseball card last year. That's kind of the issue. Cal Raleigh is like 200 points worse than his baseball card last year. Not even last year in his career, he's 200 points worse. Like that's kind of what we're having. Rob Ruffsnyder, just he was a great like masher of lefties. He can't hit anybody now. I'm pretty sure you strike him out at this point, Kevin. Like it's historically terrible baseball player right now. Like it's just like these guys didn't just be worse; they're just really, really bad compared to the career averages. I can even take like not great years for them. Just like we can't absorb this, and that's the issue that it's across the board. It's just like all at the same time, and you're just like, guys, like I need you just to be a little bit better. Like Cal Raleigh, your OPS is 574 right now. Like Cole Emerson's 20 and he's got 100 points higher than you right now. Like, what are we doing?
Here's the thing. If it were me, what I would do, and I know I'm going to be in the minority on this, that's fine. It's Jerry. It's absolutely Jerry. And there's just constant excuses all the time for Jerry. He's got all these prospects, blah blah blah. It's Jerry. Like, there's no way around it. The guys he's putting in
There is
place.
a way around. This team is talented enough to go to the playoffs. The players have to play the game.
So then fire all the players. So get rid of all the
Cal
players.
Raleigh then.
Like, I, I, let me say something. Let me give you guys credit. All right, I've been thinking about this a while, especially since I knew we were gonna have this conversation. You guys were right about Pete Carroll. I'll give you credit to that. You guys were right. We should have gotten out earlier. We should have gotten out of Pete Carroll earlier. He was done 2 to 3 years before we got rid of him. I'll give you guys credit on that. Now, you guys are doing the same thing with Jerry. The exact same thing. Jerry has never done anything with this team. When we started this podcast, you
We
guys
were
told me,
four
"Hey,
outs
no,
from
no,
the World
shh,
Series
shh, shh,
8 months ago. 4 outs from the World Series. Like, what are you talking about?
shh." Okay. You guys said the plan back in 2020 when we started this was to progress and then World Series, what, 24, 25?
Yeah, be a World Series contender. Yeah, you
All
can't
right.
bank on a World Series, but yeah, be a contender.
But the 54%, right? 54%? Yeah.
Yep.
Has that panned out?
They are a contender. Yeah, they have been.
Okay,
And
but
they
now
sh
we're
and
we're in this disappointing spot again.
what do you
And
mean again? What do you mean again?
what do you mean? Other than last year, this is where they've been every time we've been on this podcast. They have been in this position of disappointment all the time. Remember after the
They've
2022
been a
season where
contender
they
because
broke?
you don't have realistic expectations of what is reasonable for a team. They've been in the running every single year.
Then why are you disappointed?
I'm disappointed because they're not, because the players are not playing well enough. The team, like to make Kevin's point, the players are good enough. What Kevin just said, we're not making a move because the players are good enough. The players
I
have to play better.
I
Like,
knew it'd be controversial, so that's
that's
fine.
what it
I'm okay
is.
with that. All right, well then just keep excusing it. That's fine. I'm just telling you.
If
I'm
Aaron
getting
Judge
rid of
comes up
Jerry.
here and is just terrible, and you're like, man, Aaron Judge just sucks, and I'd be like, don't fire the coach of the Yankees or whatever. Aaron Judge just has to be Aaron Judge. You build a team around of guys who are projected to do these
It's
things
upper
and have
management.
done
It's
it.
upper management, and Jerry's a part of it. So, I mean, you can keep excusing. That's fine. And until he does the thing,
The
we were 4 hours
players
away. That's
played the
great, but
game.
we didn't get there. The plan was to get there, wasn't it? We're still the only team to never get there, and we haven't done
Matt,
that
like
yet.
you, and this is what you don't get these things. You think the Dodgers are going to 5 World Series in a row? It's completely stupid. It's completely stupid. Matthew, like baseball playoffs are a freaking crapshoot. They're a freaking crapshoot every year. So you roll the dice, like you just said, roll the dice. The Mariners were a better team than the Blue Jays last year, and the Blue Jays hit a home run at the end of the game, and they got sent home. Okay, so like that's what it is. Like they lost the roll of the dice at the end. That's what happens sometimes. Bizarro's really good, and he gave up a home run. And then like just means like blow everything up. Everything was stupid.
I,
No,
I didn't
that's
say
not. They're
I
a
didn't say
good
blow
enough
anything
team.
up, but look at what you
You
guys are
get a
talking about.
you
The
get a
hitting
good
is the
enough
issue
team.
every year, Sean, isn't it?
They don't have a 500 team every year, Matthew. They were like 10 games above 500 last year. They're
All
not
right,
on pace to win 90 games. They win 90
you're
games
right. I'm
every year. This
crazy.
year is
I'm
different.
crazy. You're right. You're right. I'm
This,
crazy. It's not.
they have
It's never has been, Jerry. Never has been.
have they ever had this, Kevin? I'm asking Kevin. Kevin, have they ever been projected to be this good that you could ever remember?
No.
This is new thing, Matthew. This is a new thing, and they have
Actually,
failed
hold
to
on,
do it.
hold on. After 2022, where they broke the streak, wasn't the whole checklist at the beginning of the year like, oh, break the streak, now win a World Series? Wasn't that the expectation then?
It was, but they were.
Wasn't
This
that?
team is better. This team is better than that team. That's what I'm telling you. Like Matthew, like the issues that are the players in the field are not playing well enough. That team going into next year, Matthew, was projected to win the wild card. They're projected to be second to the Astros. This team's projected to be second to the Yankees in the entire division or in the entire conference. It's a different story altogether, and they've completely failed as the players have failed. What would you do differently if you were Jerry? Not sign Cal Raleigh, trade him after last year? Is that what you're suggesting? Because if
That's
that's the
not what I'm
case,
suggesting. No.
because that's the alternative. That was the alternative. Like, what could have been? What could he have done this offseason other than just win the games, which is not, he can't control that. Just win the games. What are you expecting him to do actively to make this
It's
team?
the same thing with Pete. It's the same thing, and you're doing it, and that's fine.
No,
I'll
I'm not.
accept that.
You didn't understand
No,
the
you
difference
are.
between the two.
You are.
You didn't
You are.
understand the difference between the two. You thought Pete was this thing. He's
You are.
not. No, he's not. You actively
All
holding a
right.
team back, not understanding what it is to
All
play
right.
baseball in here in 2026 or whatever. Pete not understanding what year it is for football, running the ball too many times. That's the issue. He just was the game had left him behind. Cal Raleigh can't hit the baseball. You guys told me he was going to hit 60 home runs again. He's not going to hit 60 home runs. Do I think he's going to hit 500 OPS? No. That's the issue. You're running it. That is the issue. Cal Raleigh can't hit. It's a big deal.
So it's one guy.
Cal Raleigh, Josh Naylor. Kevin was all over Julio Rodriguez. All these, we've had every podcast. Kevin's like, shoot Julio Rodriguez. Like, he's been asking for 3 months to shoot Julio Rodriguez.
No, he's
Well-
like, send him down to Tacoma.
Okay, sorry.
This gun to the balls is a new thing.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
joke.
But like,
But like, yeah.
your 2-3-4 hitters not playing well at all. Like, yeah, it adds up. Yeah, absolutely. It's a big driver of this.
I mean, maybe they make the playoffs and maybe they win the World Series, and I'm dead wrong in this conversation when we look back on it.
They
But
don't have
we'll
to
see
win
what
the World
happens.
Series for you to be dead wrong. That's the thing. I'm like, it's arbitrary. Like, they have to win it. A lot of luck goes into that every single time a team wins the World Series. The Dodgers almost lost because their 9 bench player hit a home run. They were like, some crappy player for the Dodgers hit a home run. That's how they won the World Series in Game 7. That shouldn't have happened. He was crappy.
I have a
Well,
question
they
for Matt.
did. So
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Matthew, like, it takes random shit to happen to win a World Series. Like, it just takes random stuff. Howie Kendrick at like 38 got hot in the the Nationals won a World Series. Strasburg was amazing and then never pitched again. Like it just sometimes it's crazy random. The Angels had a rally monkey show up and they were sucky for the next 10 years. Like
I have a question for Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need Jimothy to do the thing.
Don't you dare take Jimothy into this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's say the Dodgers. Okay, Matthew, do you believe that the Dodgers GM and coach are good?
Like coach, yeah, I mean, I guess the GM's good, but he just signs everybody, so sure.
He gets him to sign the deal. That's kind of their job.
He has to sign him, so I mean that's good. He could be signing me to, instead of, Shohei Ohtani. He could be doing that. But so they're both good. Let's put that out there. So let's say they get to the World Series and they lose this year to the Rays. Should they fire him?
No,
Why?
because they got to the World Series. They've been the last 2 years and won both years.
Okay, let's say they get to the AL or the NLCS Game 7 and they lose to the Braves, who are also really good this year. Should they fire him?
No,
Then why are you saying that?
because we are not the Dodgers, Kevin. We are the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the MLB. You realize that, right? In terms of a franchise,
it doesn't matter what we did. The 70s doesn't matter, Matthew. That doesn't matter. You can't take like, man, we were really bad in the 80s. We've never been in the World Series. Like, okay,
Astros
but like
were butthole for like 3 decades and then went on a tear.
guys,
So
we've been to the playoffs twice in 20 years, and
right. And
like,
how is that Jerry's fault?
we've been to the playoffs twice in the last 4 years, Matthew. It doesn't matter how many years you stretch it out. Like, what are you talking about?
You gotta look at
fine.
Not before Jerry.
And nothing's changed really, other than the 2 playoff appearances.
But the thing is, it takes time to put. He drafted.
How much time do you get, Kevin?
Do you want to put Kirby in when he's 18?
How much? I've heard this the entire time we've been on the podcast. The entire time.
What are you looking for? Like the bar is he has to win the World Series.
Like you guys said, that's what the plan was.
The plan is to be a contender, Matthew. Then the dice fall where they may, Matthew. Like
Matthew, what you're not realizing is that the Dodgers GM has the owner of the Dodgers versus Jerry has John Butthole Stanton, who doesn't pay shit.
Okay, time out. So like if the Mariners had won, like let's say, I don't know, Andres Munoz doesn't blow 2 saves this year. Let's say they don't blow 2 saves. They have 2 more wins. We got that?
Yeah.
The Mariners, the last 5 years, have the 5th most wins in baseball. I'm just saying, like, they're objectively been a good team these last 5 years. They've been in the running every year for the last 5 years.
Yep.
Now, the dice might not fall the way we like it, but that's where they're at. They're a good baseball team. Right now, they're tied for 9th. So 2 wins gets them all the way up to 6th. So, like, with the Astros, by the way, who have won World Series. So, like, they're in there. They're mixing it up. We've a combination of a little unlucky and the dice doesn't fall the right way because that's a problem. Wait, hold on.
Something happened?
3-2 Julio Rodriguez home run. There you go.
Ooh.
Okay. He's now healthy. He didn't start today either, which is an issue. But maybe second half Julio Rodriguez shows up again and goes off. But that's what I'm saying. Like
maybe
the plan. I get it. Matthew, I totally get your side of it. But I'm saying like an arbitrary, like you have to do this or you have to do that. Like you have to be a contender. And yeah, I want them to be better than a contender. But like at the end of the day, the players, your job as a GM is to get them to be a contender. And then they have to play. They have to do the thing, and you kind of got to get a little lucky sometimes. That's just baseball.
Let me ask you this question then. What would it take for you to fire Jerry?
I mean, obviously, he would have to get worse at drafting and developing, and then the team would just have to completely collapse. Oh, I thought Victor just did it. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay. Like, a couple of years of this. Like, if the players just don't do this and the players all just fall apart, and you have a couple of years of, like, you're 500, you're really below your thing, you're not playing your talent level, then I'm like, okay, the talent level's not getting it. You're not playing to what your perceived talent level is for like 3 years in a row. We've got to do something and move on. And clearly, Jerry, you haven't replaced, probably assumed fired a couple managers at that point. Okay, you fired a couple managers. The managers haven't fixed the issue. The issue has to come from you. We've got to do that because like right now, he didn't hire Scott Service. Then Dan Wilson came in, took them to the furthest they've ever been as a franchise just last year. And then this year, I don't like Dan Wilson as a manager. To be honest, I'll agree with kind of everybody. I don't think he's a great manager, but again, I don't think the managers have a lot to say in the day to day stuff. His job is to manage the clubhouse. I I don't know about you guys. My gut tells me there is something with the clubhouse with the whole Randy situation, Cal thing. I don't know. The vibes kind of just feel a little different with JP Crawford and the things he said about moving to third for Colt Emerson. It just feels, it felt a little weird. Did you guys get that vibe coming into the season?
A little bit.
Maybe a little.
So like, and that's Dan's job. Like Dan's job is to kind of manage the clubhouse. I don't know how it is. That's kind of Jerry's job to know that. So that it does fall on that. So like if Jerry can't figure out, let's say the players have to at a certain point play to their potential. But if it's a going trend, like hey, these guys are not living up to their potential, and we're a couple years into this, your manager has to figure it out. And if you can't find the manager to figure that out, then you have to go. But like Cal Raleigh just had his best year last year. Julio had a 5 WAR last year. Josh Naylor, to Kevin's point, had a great season last year. And just because like for 100 games this year, these guys have failed. Like that doesn't mean like Jerry can't do this. Like that just means these guys have had a rough 100 games. Like that's just the end of. Like I get it, but like that at the end of the day, that's what it is. We're at a rough 100 games for these guys. But like I said, the bottom of the lineup, the part we all have question marks, has actually been very good. I just need if those three guys are their baseball averages, we are the number 2 team in the league. Or maybe even the number 1 team in the AL this year because the AL is pretty weak. But they have not done that. And that's what I think, Matthew, what the most frustrating part about this is for the first time in a long time, we've had the talent to be good. And we are not, and they are not playing good. That's the frustrating part, what I find. Like, we have 6 pitchers. Now, again, Luis Castillo is like, he should go, but like, Cade Anderson is like the talk of minor league baseball. He would be up for like 20 other baseball teams. We just don't have a spot for him because we have 6 guys already.
Yeah.
Ryan Sloan is like, Cade Anderson is the number 3 prospect in baseball now, I think, recently. And Ryan Sloan's like 10. Like, they just swept the entire minor league first half pitching awards, the 2 of those guys. And then, oh, by the way, the AA awards came out as Ryan Sloan and Laz. They just swept everything. So, like, I'm just like, we have guys that are like ready, but the problem is like the guys in front of us are good. And I'm like, but where Laz would play, Randy's playing well. So I'm like, okay, can't get rid of Randy. Then Luke Riley's there, but I don't want Laz to come in for Julio because Julio, in theory, has had 4 or 5 seasons in a row. He's the first player since in his first 4 seasons, he's done 30-30 or whatever it is that he's done, or 2020. He's the first player to ever do it. So I'm like, you can't bench Julio because he has a track record of doing it, but he's not doing it right now. So like, I'm like, do you just then bench Julio, Cal, and Josh Naylor? I don't think that's the answer. But then what is the answer?
Yeah,
Matthew, on
see
the
here,
field,
Sean,
what's the answer?
Sean, here's the thing. You and I are both hockey guys, and what do you do when things aren't going right? You make a change. You switch goalies. You switch lines.
Yeah.
Do something. Do something.
I don't know. Oh,
right?
That's not far enough. Yeah, I agree. You might have to do something, but like, and the thing is, maybe get rid of Dan Wilson. Like, honestly, if the clubhouse isn't going well,
let's do it. Like Kevin said,
I'm not
the year.
against
Like
it.
then do it. Like bump
I
up
would say
Edgar or something. I don't know, but
I would say if they go on a little losing streak again, then yeah, you kind of got it. There's no room for error at this point. You've got to like, losing today's game doesn't mean like, oh, fire Dan Wilson.
yeah,
But like,
absolutely not.
if they go on a losing streak, then yeah, you got to get rid of him. This the way to Kevin's point. The way they're playing is unacceptable. Like they are so much better than this, and because the talent level is so much better than this, but like they're just not getting it done. And I'm just like, what's gonna? Cal Raleigh's worse than Mitch Garver.
And
like,
let me say before this
loud.
podcast ends, if the Mariners adopt Jimothy and they don't make the playoffs,
They
fire
did
him
adopt
all.
Jimothy. He's on the jumbotron.
I know that's why
Everything.
fire them all.
Got it.
If they adopt Jimothy and they fail, fire them all.
They
Right now.
haven't lost since Jimothy became a thing. I'm just saying.
It's true. Okay, that's fair. It's fair. You can't adopt Jimothy and let it go south. That's all I'm
We
saying.
just got to have Cal Raleigh be the best catcher on the Mariners roster would really help. Would
Well,
really help.
this was a fun debate, at least. We'll see what this conversation is like at the end of the season. Let us know what you think of the Seattle Mariners. Go ahead and blue sky us. I'm a Master B. Sean is NastyBilly22. Kevin is Emerald Bowler on X. Kevin is C2Believe, SCA2Believe. Sean is NastyBilly22. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Tell us what you think of the topics we talk about in the comments below. Smash that like button. Next time, we'll be talking more Mariners. Seahawks season will be closer. I mean, we didn't even talk World Cup. That could be a fun conversation. So with that, we'll see you next time on Washington East to West Sports. And seriously, bring back our Sonics. Seriously.